Well, what's up, guys? My name is TJ. I'm a cinematographer out in Queens, New York, and today I will be doing a review of the FX6 UP. Like, it hasn't been done 1,000 times, but this camera is really amazing. And yeah, I just want to talk about it really quickly. My use case, I want to show you guys a couple of different rigs that I have set up with it, and just some quirks I noticed about the camera, things like that, things you might want to know before you buy. And yeah, that's it. Also, I apologize if you guys hear any noise in the background. I'm at my church right now, and our live streaming rig is on. So there's like a computer, there's a NAS, there's web presenter, multi-view, whatchamacallit those things again, HyperDex, ATEM video hub, and there's also our networking in here. So there's a lot of devices at the same time in one space. And we also have stuff to set up to accept wireless feeds and for PTZ cameras. And we have about 7 different cameras that come in here. And then we have a bunch of different sources that go out to TVs and things of that nature. So if you guys want a video on setting up something like this, because all of this was done from scratch by hand, even the cables, we make the SDI cables here, we make the Ethernet cables here, set up the 10G networking, all of that, even the DMX lighting control, set up all of that. If you guys want a video on that really quickly, just leave a comment, let me know, and I'll talk about it. But going back to the main point of the video, the FX6, and I have my notes here just so I don't go off track. I'm not trying to make this be the prettiest video, but this camera is an absolute workhorse. It gets the job done, and I don't know any other way to put it, but I'm just saying it gets the job done. You know, the 4K all here is great. The 10-bit all here is absolutely amazing, and the way I see it personally, 4K is more than enough, because even for most of the screens that we watch things on, they don't do more than 4K most of the time. For example, your phone is not 4K. Your laptop most likely is not 4K. No, as a recording resolution, I think it's absolutely great. And it helps a lot because I can shoot horizontal, and if I make a 9:16 crop in the middle, that's still around 1080p, which is fine for social media, because even as of now, Instagram still takes 1080p max for the resolution. YouTube Shorts does 4K, but so even recording in 4K is good. The only part that I would want more of necessarily, or if there was an FX6 Mark II, the only thing I would say is probably 6K, but that's just to have more space for when I'm cropping in after the fact. But I really do that, so I really don't need 6K. 4K is fine. And then the 10-bit 42 here is amazing. It's easy to grade. The S-Log is great to work with. It also has the RAW update, but I personally never had a situation when I've had to shoot RAW, and I've done interviews, podcast testimonials, I've shot different things. I mean, I'll probably put some B-roll on the screen right now of different things I've shot with it, but I've never had a need for RAW. And plus, the 10-bit 42 is great already. I barely ever came across a situation when I need a latitude, and if I do need RAW, I have a Blackmagic that I use, and I probably use that once or twice. Ever since I got the FX6, I don't really use the Blackmagic at all. But going back to it, if you're watching the video, you probably know some about the FX6 already. So you know the ISO performance is amazing. The autofocus is absolutely amazing. I have my button configurations laid out a little differently. I have this one set to face and eye autofocus priority. This one set to autofocus on or off. And then with the side handle, what I do, because the autofocus is really sticky, so with the side handle on, hold on, I have my focus mag button set to manual focus autofocus toggle, so I can hold that, and then I could manually adjust the focus of the lens if it's on someone that I don't really want to catch or something like that. So I could adjust, manually take care of the focus really quickly. There's a switch at the front for that, but I don't really use it. And then there's also the push autofocus button back. I don't really use it. But yeah, handle is great. It took me a while to understand how to take it off. There's like this little button down here, so it's kind of hard to reach. Another thing I noticed about the camera when we first got it is that this thing is light. It's light and it's small. I can palm this whole thing. The rigging around it is almost like the weight of it, right? And again, going back to it, I usually have this DJI base plate on it, because usually when I'm using this for our Sunday services, I usually put it on an RS3. I usually put on this thing right here, RS3, and then I put it on top of, I put it on top of this arm, you know, just the battery arm, but with this extension for the Steadicam. And I have a Steadicam vest that I put it on. Or I give it to a volunteer to wear, and they go around capturing clips of this on the DJI, and it's the RS3 Pro. Another thing to know about this as well, because I also have the tilter V-mount plate at the back. I usually have a 99, you know, the small rig 99 watt-hour batteries I put on the back, and then I might put a 24-70 on the front. I put it on the gimbal, and also set up with a wireless transmitter, and then the regular monitor that came with the camera, and then I let them just go run off with that, and it balances on the gimbal really well. In fact, even I don't know if it's a testament to how light this body is or how strong that gimbal is, but I've managed to balance this camera with the battery and the 70 to 200 on the gimbal before, with the wireless transmitters, all of that, and went around with it just fine. I might do it again for the video just so you know it's real. I also have the top handle, but I don't really use the top handle because I don't regularly record audio in camera. I usually record audio externally. Just setting it up a little bit. I have to go and grab the battery. Can't forget that. So this always usually runs. You saw I usually run it on Sunday, but there's the 24-70, the G Master. There's the monitor right here, the wireless transmitter right here. This is the DJI SDR, and I put a wireless feed up to the receiver that you can see right here. And then the 1080, the SDI, it does 1080 out, but I have the HDMI set to 4K. And even though for this rig that I put on the gimbal, it has this monitor on it, a lot of people, I don't know why, but I see a lot of people, they have the camera monitor, and then they also have another external monitor. But in the HDMI, you can set it to mirror whatever this displays. So you could just not use this monitor and have one monitor instead of two, and you can simplify everything, and you control everything really well. From this dial, just from scrolling and pushing in, you can control everything really well. It takes a little while to get the hang of it, and the button, like cancel and back and stuff. But once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. And I run all of this, the transmitter, off the battery. Usually our service are probably like 4 or 5 hours from the beginning of our pre-service show to all the way to the end, and even probably a little bit after getting recorded. But I only had to use one at a time. One lasts the entire Sunday with time to spare. I had it on interviews, podcasts, recording different businesses and stuff like that. And I've only ever had to bring one. I bring two just in case, like I forgot to charge one, but I've ever only needed one for this camera. So it's really power efficient. And then the follow focus right here, I run it with the tilter follow focus wheel thing. Use this wheel to control the zoom. And that's it. Just put it on the gimbal, run it, and go. No side handle, none of that. And the camera feed that comes out of this is amazing. It comes out so smooth, so buttery. And I know that all stabilization is kind of extreme, but that's because this does not have any in-body image stabilization, which I don't care about because it captures gyro data. So when I'm working with businesses, anything I have to do that's handheld, I take the footage, I throw it in gyro flow, and then I stabilize it and export it out in ProRes 4:2. It keeps all the S-Log3, all of that, and then I bring the ProRes into my DaVinci, and it looks insane. So the gyro data out there is really good. It's really helpful to stabilize in post, but when you're doing stuff live, you kind of need to have all of this extra stuff to get some really nice smooth shots. This is our live streaming setup that we do, and I'm gonna show you my handheld setup for this camera. Oh, but before that, I'm gonna balance it with the 24-70 so that you see it's real. I'm just gonna take out the follow focus because I don't have it connected. Usually I'll connect this on D-tap to the battery, or I'll just connect it right to the front outputs of the gimbal and just have it power off of that. All right, so we got the FX6 with the 70-100. So I'm gonna add a counterweight so that it helps with the balancing. I'm gonna put it right on this side. Yeah, perfect. I'm just gonna put it on the floor to calibrate it really quickly. So yeah, we can run it on the RS3. It's the RS3 Pro. As you can see, 70 to 100 on this, and this is an extreme case, but it's perfectly doable. It's heavy, of course, but that's what the Steadicam vest is for. But just imagine this with 24 to 70. I'll give it to someone on Sunday, or I might wear it, and then we'll go around, get some nice smooth shots of the congregation and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the camera. It does not like being this heavy, by the way, but it's doable. I'm gonna show you guys my handheld rig. This is how I usually shoot handheld. So it's just the the body, V1 battery, the side grip, and the monitor, dummy battery to D-tap to the tilter. Wow, tilter plate at the back. Yo, this YouTube thing is hard. Now the HDMI coming out through here. I loop it in between. Oh my God. And the HDMI coming out through here. I loop it in between the tilter plate, and then that goes straight HDMI to the monitor. And this is a Portkeys monitor. I don't really like it. I'm not gonna lie. I have another monitor, the Godox monitor, but I'm using it right now. I prefer that one much better. This is a 7-inch monitor. I prefer monitors to be like 5-inch way smaller. And also what I was talking about earlier, so you can set to see your camera settings on the screen, so you don't have to like do anything. Even if you want to access the short menu, you can do it right here, and you could customize the short menu to make these things easy to access. And if you hold down the button, you could access the long menu. So you could adjust everything that you want to do in here, and you could enter a setting, you could go back. It's really easy. And then you could just shoot. If you need to access regular camera settings really quickly, you just push the button in. Then you could adjust different things, your white balance, your ISO, your shutter speed, all of that. And also you could just use the buttons on the side. And yeah, that's it. Pretty good camera. There's so many other reviews talking about it. I just want to talk about some stuff that I don't see talked much about, and also the way I rig it, the way I use it. If you have any questions about this camera, the usability of it, things you'd like to know, just let me know, leave a comment down. But yeah, thank you for watching.